Good morning. My name is Taji Mohamed Amine. I work for a private company in Morocco called ACRI-EC. It is a subsidiary of the ACRI-EC group. I'm an engineer specialized in geomatics and currently I'm a PhD candidate in spatial remote sensing and aquaculture. And I would like to notice that my thesis subject mainly concern the selection of potential sites for aquaculture on the Moroccan Atlantic coast using mathematical model and data derived from Earth observation. So today I'm going to try to share with you throughout the following slides some example of projects that present the participation of space technology to improve our visibility on a complex environment in order to better develop the activity of aquaculture and fisheries sector. Before starting, and on behalf of our research team member, I would like to thank the organizing committee of the GeoBlue Planet Symposium and all the participants in this scientific event. So the agenda include a quick presentation of our group, followed by example of project related to the fisheries and aquaculture sector at regional scale, link with the European and North African area. The final point will be an overview on aquaculture in Morocco throughout a research project included as part of my thesis. The ACRI-EC group exists in France since 1989, but currently we have teams of scientific researchers and engineers in other countries of the world, in particular Morocco, Canada, Spain, and finally India. We have chosen for this presentation three projects of different aspects which vary between research project, application, and cartography. As we can see, since 2013, the company has participated in several projects related to the current topics. The first one called SAFI, which is a research project that mainly targets the activity of fishing and aquaculture. The second one called SMART. It's considered as a continuity of SAFI research, but with focus on the aquaculture aspect. This project was founded by ESA between 2015 and 2017. So the last and third project called EMFF project aim to produce and generate map that can contribute to the aquaculture policies. At the end of this presentation, we will also have the opportunity to see the approach adopted to select potential sites for setting up aquaculture project on the Moroccan Atlantic coast, a coastline known for its strong swell activity. And before moving to the next slide, I emphasize here that the company was also participating in other projects related to the marine and the coastal ecosystem between the period of 2010 and 2014, but for time consideration, we only mention them here. Supporting our aquaculture and fisheries industry, or SAFI project, is based on the exploitation of Earth observation data aimed to supporting aquaculture and fishing industry in the marine environment. I notice here that this kind of data are available for free download under the Copernicus platform. On the other hand, the project aimed to provide observation and environment indicator to optimize the deployment or the extension of aquaculture farm. The output of this project can be grouped into three main categories: service, product, and tools. For the service, we can find optimization of farm location, quantification of environment carrying capacity, and finally, near real-time environment monitoring. For products, we have fishing or aquaculture indicator mapping that can help to select optimal site location. As tool, we have a web application that allow us to present the results obtained within the framework of this project or to generate others that require additional calculation. This slide illustrates one of the indicators used called SST France, which use it to analyze fishing migration routes and assess local fishing recruitment. The second product is the red tide bloom indicator, help to detect a possible toxic alga bloom and anticipate its drift into sensitive areas such as fish and shellfish farm. So here we have another indicator that helps to identify a suitable area for mussel. This product is based on sea surface temperature, chlorophyll concentration, and significant wave height information. So on the last SAFI product slide, I will present different type of forecasting indicator product, namely the estimated distribution of salmon linked to temperature evolution, the forecast estimation of bivalve maturation, and finally the muscle's potential growth. As we have already said, smart or sustainable management of aquaculture throughout remote sensing technology is the continuity of SAFI. For this reason, we have a similarity between the two projects with regard to the aquaculture component, except that the smart projects provide additional support in terms of ecological modeling and optimization of seed selection for aquaculture. So among the most relevant results from the SMART project, we can present this illustration of the detection of aquaculture cages using radar sensor data derived from the Sentinel-1 product. During this period, the number of cages reached 4,472 units. A second smart product resulting from the modeling process reflects the variety of choice for the installation of aquaculture cages on the coastal zone, which is considered as one of important case information for a decision maker. The illustration showed that it's possible to keep the current farm location close to the coast, except that it's necessary to provide additional cost linked to the maintenance, taking into account coastal pollution. On the other hand, it's also possible to change sites and move to the planned farm location, which present less risk of pollution, but in this case, we will have more cost related to transport. This says that it's enough to looking for a compromise according to the need and requirement linking to each choice. So now we have come to the section of developed tools. This mini website is part of the tools developed within the framework of SAFI and SMART that facilitate access to various environmental products and indicators for specific location. Here we give the example of the sites monitored in Morocco. The MFF project was funded by SENIA to support the European Green Deal. The specific objective was to assess the potential of shellfish and algae to recycle nutrients. The second one to estimate the greenhouse gas emission, and finally to produce digital raster map of potential production across European marine waters. The current illustration materialized by the mapping of the two types of algae, Alaria and Latissima by modeling, has made it possible to assess the production quality of the site dedicated to aquaculture. The information provided by these two maps show that the most productive regions were along the Iberian Atlantic coast and the plume of large river. So after presenting illustration for various European projects, I would like to mention an important indicator developed by GSE called OPFISH, and which is mainly based on the use of gradient front of chlorophyll. According to research published by GRC, this indicator has been shown to be valid for a variety of species ranging from mesozooplankton to the blue shark in my left side, which reflect that it's the most suitable indicator for the food webs. Given the interest of this parameter, which use the chlorophyll gradient instead of the physical gradient based on the front SST, there was a collaboration between ACRI-EC and GRC in order to generate it on a global scale using MODIS as a base product. I would like to mention here that currently and following the evolution of Sentinel sensor, this product has also been adapted with Sentinel 3. Now we come to the process followed for the selection of potential site for aquaculture. I would like to start this slide with the quick questions. How to locate the ideal location for specific marine species? The answer to discussions come down to finding an area whose parameters are compatible with those of the species. For this, the use of an indicator was essential in our research to judge the environmental quality of the area. As shown in the slide, the creation for this indicator began with the collection of information on environmental parameters from satellite data and modeling products that simulate the state of the soil in the coastal zone. All this information was collected and evaluated using an MCA module implemented in the GIS tool. So the result of application of this methodology is a potential map for aquaculture for a specific species, where the high value presents a strong potential. So allow me to end the presentation with a testimony in favor of the SAFI project. Personally, I consider this project as one of the scientific laboratories that succeed in bringing together experts and specialists to try to provide new tools and solutions using Earth observation technology to advance research in the field of aquaculture and fishing. It's thanks to this motivation acquired during this experience that I continued research in this field in my country, and thank you very much for your attention.